At this stage in the championship, Ferrari finds itself playing catch-up. McLaren has a substantial lead in the Constructors Championship, and delays in upgrades have cost Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc crucial points in the Drivers' Championship. The situation was further complicated by a double disqualification in China. The SF25 hasn't delivered the expected results, and Leclerc and his team are focused on resolving the issues. While the car has occasionally shown great potential, it's not consistently reliable. As the team heads to Miami, they're hoping for more positive signs while anticipating further enhancements expected to roll out in the race following Miami at Imola. The big question is, what upgrades will be introduced and what issues need fixing? There have been mixed messages from the Ferrari team principal and the drivers. They aren't in total disagreement, but they have different views on the path forward. Vasseur appears to have a lot of confidence in the technical team and the data from the wind tunnel and simulator, suggesting that the SF25 has untapped potential. This was evident on Friday in Australia during the sprint race in China, and with a strong pace in Bahrain and Jeddah. According to Vasseur's various post-race interviews in Saudi Arabia, we have to improve on Saturday and put everything together. The drivers, especially Charles Leclerc, feel the current challenge for Ferrari lies in qualifying. However, it's tough to unlock more potential from the current setup. They admit to lacking downforce and grip compared to McLaren, Red Bull and Mercedes. The Monegasque driver observed that they fell short on performance last Saturday. Much like in 2024, the new car struggles when trying to harness maximum grip and efficiency from the softest tyres. It is common to find Ferraris during tests that feel more at ease with medium or soft tyre settings, often achieving results on par, if not superior, with their rivals. The SF24 faced trouble warming up its tyres, which led to a delayed start on laps. This year feels similar, yet with a twist. The SF25 deals with a shaky rear and an unstable balance due to a ride height that isn't ideal. Previously noted, the SF25's rear stiffness problems are tied to aerodynamics. The technicians are dealing with a limited setup option that compromise across slow, medium and fast corners. In Jeddah, they prioritised fast corners, but at the cost of slow corner efficiency, leading to added losses in qualifying, especially in the first sector. The new tyres have somewhat helped. At a track like Jeddah, similar to Suzuka, Ferraris lost more in slow corners compared to McLaren due to the chosen setup and qualifying challenges. However, they gained ground on straights and medium corners, reducing their gap in fast corners by roughly 1/10 of a second, which was anticipated. During the race, the challenge seemed to recur, but after a few opening laps, the SF25 surprisingly turned competitive along certain track sections. With less fuel, a lowered ride height thanks to higher cornering speeds, and the right use of medium and hard tyres, the SF25 hit its stride. It's clear the SF25 shined brightest on Fridays in Australia, where ride heights were spot on, during sprint events in China when set with 35 kilos of fuel, and throughout mid to late race stints. The SF25 is facing challenges in qualifying mainly because it lacks grip and downforce, making it tough to handle the softer tyres. These issues all boil down to the car's ride height. If Ferrari could lower the car, they would see improvements in downforce, grip and overall performance. Earlier this year, Leclerc pointed out that any adjustment on these cars has a ripple effect on everything else. This delicate balance means that every part can trigger a chain reaction, either beneficial or detrimental. The groundwork laid in Bahrain wasn't meant just for on-track issues. The development had started during the winter. Nonetheless, the team in Maranello is crafting solutions that might unlock the car's hidden potential, although these aren't expected to debut in time for Imola. These kinds of issues are also impacting Lewis Hamilton's performance. According to the celebrated 7-time world champion, Charles's style suits this Ferrari, as he prefers a stable front and a more twitchy rear, echoing the F175 model and evident in the SF25. While every driver hopes for a perfect or at least balanced car, achieving this is a tall order. Before the Bahrain trials, it was noted that the engineers focused on creating a sturdier front for the car, but didn't expect the rear to be so unstable. Charles Leclerc has adapted a unique approach to the car's setup, boosting his confidence and allowing him to perform better. However, Lewis Hamilton is struggling. He is not comfortable with how the car's rear behaves, which makes him uneasy while braking or manoeuvring through corners. According to Matteo Bobby, this lack of confidence forces Hamilton to brake more and move more cautiously in turns, affecting his overall performance. This is a technical issue with the SF25 that Ferrari needs to address. A more stable rear wouldn't hurt Leclerc, who is also doing his best but still lacks the capability to compete at the highest level. Upgrades to fix these faults would benefit both Ferrari drivers without focusing solely on Hamilton. The fact that Hamilton is trailing behind Leclerc is not just a matter of age. Ferrari's boss, Fred Vasseur, is displeased with some of the comments circulating about Hamilton. With just 5 races completed in 2025, Vasseur is dismissing these claims. There's growing concern not only about the Scuderia's performance, but also about Hamilton's form. He has openly acknowledged feeling uncomfortable in the SF25, while his teammate Leclerc manages to get more out of the car during both qualifying and races. In light of Hamilton's illustrious career, recent happenings have fueled a surge of negative chatter about what's next for him. Naturally, his age comes up, particularly when seasoned drivers hit a rough patch, even if it's just a brief downturn. When asked if Hamilton's performance has taken a nosedive, Fred Vasseur shared his thoughts with Sky Sports. He dismissed the notion of Hamilton undergoing a massive drop in form, pointing out they've only completed 5 races. Vasseur commented, "I understand you are after sensational headlines, but that's nonsense. In racing, you face highs and lows. A peak doesn't make you a champion, and a dip doesn't spell disaster. It's all just part of the sport." I bet you didn't draw the same conclusions about Max's performance the previous week when he finished 7th. It is what it is. The race for success is intense. Picture this: you have 10 cars and only a fraction of a second to play with. Take a look at Max's journey. He clinched victory in Japan, but trailed Piastri by 30 seconds in Bahrain before claiming second place and grabbing pole position in Saudi Arabia. It's clear that dismissing a world championship after just a few races is far too early. Remember how McLaren's fortunes shifted dramatically following their 2024 updates in Miami? It shows just how quickly the tides can turn in Formula One. However, Ferrari is facing a daunting challenge. Being 90 points behind McLaren means they have almost no room for mistakes if they hope to stay competitive this year. Notably, Ferrari is one of the few leading teams to have already rolled out a major upgrade package. Unfortunately, the improvements introduced in Bahrain have fallen short of closing the gap with the MCL39. Charles Leclerc hasn't held back his frustrations, especially after realising that a near-perfect qualifying in Jeddah only earned him a 4th place start. This situation places a lot of pressure on Fred Vasseur to steer Ferrari back into the battle. The team's performance this season has been underwhelming, particularly since they were on par with McLaren by the end of 2024. With the 2026 rule changes shrouded in mystery and whispers that Mercedes boasts the best engine, Ferrari faces a tight timeline to turn around this year's performance. The upcoming enhancements in Imola need to make a big impact. So, what's your take? Can Ferrari pull off a strong performance in Miami this weekend? And how do you see them faring after Imola? Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. See you in the next video.